Just an upfront warning, this is gonna be a long video and it's gonna have a lot of emotions involved in it. So let me just say that up front. Hi guys, welcome back. It's me, Drew, and today's video I have for you today, I'm not wearing pretty much any makeup, just lip gloss and brow gel because I'm not a monster, and I'm really nervous to make this video because I'm already like crying. So this video, first of all, I do want to say that I know a lot of you, I've heard people before say they have like, a lot of times they'll have like their kids or young ones watch this video with them, and I don't think that the content of this video is 100% kid friendly. It's not bad content, it's just kind of more serious content. And so I'm just gonna say that up front. If you don't have time for the long version of this story, I will tell you up front that today I am actually having surgery. Actually right now, this video was actually set to time release as my surgery begins. So just so you know, I am actually having a procedure done right now that is called a sleeve gastrectomy. If you don't know what that is, it is a surgery where they basically cut out like 80% of your stomach in order to assist with weight loss and weight management. So woo! So surprise, I have been in a weight loss program with my hospital for a while now, and I have been working towards this moment. And so I'm sure there's gonna be a million and one questions. So this video is gonna be longer to try and like hopefully answer a lot of those questions or thoughts you might be thinking up front right now, as well as I will do a Q&A about this in the couple weeks to come. I don't know how many videos are going to be out in the next couple weeks. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling with like recovery, etc. And so basically I'm going to share with you like the journey to this point in this video. And real quick before I do that though, I want to mention like, please respect my journey. Like, please know, like, if you don't agree with people getting, weight loss surgery, that like, keep in mind that I'm a person, and also it's already being done right now, so there's nothing you can do about it. But I mean, not that you could, but you know what, okay. The video's just going off the rails. So how did this all come about? So back in the end of June 2015, so take it back like a year and a few months, my health was really starting to decline. And when it really hit like its peak, and I actually had moments before this that really should have been like, this was your peak moment, but like it hit its peak at the end of June 2015 when one night I was sitting in my house and I was having out of nowhere, I was having like severe chest pain, and like really bad. And it wasn't like panic attack chest pain. I'd had panic attacks before. I didn't even know if it was like I didn't think it was like a heart attack, but it was like serious chest pain. Like I couldn't breathe and like I was just gonna die. And my friend came over to my house to like sit with my kids, and I went to the ER. And basically, so I get to the ER, and the first shocking moment was they had me step on a scale, which I hadn't done in about like 2 years, because previous to this point, I had been on a weight loss journey before I got pregnant with baby girl Ella V, and then stopped that journey, and then we moved, and then I didn't pick it back up again. And I found out at that moment that not only had I gained back every pound that I lost, but I had gained like over 30 more pounds. So basically, I believe I had gained like 80 plus pounds in like less than 2 years, which sucks. It sucks. And it was like horrifying and just scary. And I was at a weight that like when you're someone who's overweight, you've probably done this, you always say like, okay, I'm really overweight, but I'm never gonna let myself get this overweight. And I had gotten past the I'm never gonna let myself get this overweight to like scared, like I could actually die or not be able to live like a mobile life if I keep going down this path weight. Okay. And the other thing that happened at the hospital is I'm sitting there waiting. They're checking all these things. They're testing my gallbladder, all these other things. They're like, we don't know what's wrong with you. And a doctor comes in and he's like, hey, did you know you're pregnant? And I'm like, no. And basically he's like, yeah, you're pregnant. And he looked at me and I already knew, like, he just goes, and I'm like, but I'm having a miscarriage. Yeah. And so, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be emotional today. So just roll with it. It's been a crazy, crazy process, but I'm actually really happy. Just reliving the story is like emotional, it just is. And so, basically they're like, you have what's called an ectopic pregnancy, which is when you get pregnant, but the baby's like in your tubing, and they're like, either the baby will regulate itself, but more than likely you're going to have a miscarriage. And so not only did I find out that I gained 80 pounds, surprise, I also had a miscarriage. And so at that moment, like, I just felt like my whole life was like completely out of control. Like, I'm like, how did I get here? Like, how have I let my health go so badly that, first of all, I didn't even know I was pregnant. Secondly, I'm losing the baby I didn't even know I was having. Thirdly, I've gained so much weight that, like, I don't even know how I'm ever gonna come back from this weight. Like, I don't even think it's possible to like lose as much weight, And so in the weeks to come, I did lose the baby, and I had some health, like, my body was in a lot of pain from this experience, and it took me like a couple weeks to like get out of that, especially when you're much heavier. It's really hard to like fight off, like, when your body is like sick and not doing well. And so I talked to my doctors about like weight loss surgery, and I'm like, I have to do something. I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like, I have little kids, and they're not gonna have a mom, because like I can't control like my food consumption, which is like the stupidest thing. Like, to me, like, I'm gonna leave my kids without a mom because I can't control, like, I can't put the fork down. Like, that sucks. And so I went to a consult. It was July 31st, 2015. And I went to the consult, and the good news is that at that consult, I found out that I had gained like another like 8 pounds in the process. So things were already like going great. Like, I was gaining weight. Like, I'm like, you need to lose weight, and I'm gaining weight. And basically, I found out about the different surgery processes, and I thought I was going to do the lap band, but I wasn't sure. And they're like, well, now you need to go to a seminar. So I went to a seminar where they explained to me, all the different surgeries, the benefits, pros, cons, this and that. And they also went into great detail about like the lifestyle that I would have to live post-surgery. So if you don't know anything about weight loss surgery, in a different video, will probably give an even bigger education on this. But basically, I went in thinking that it was surgery. They do stuff and you just eat less. The reality is, if you actually get weight loss surgery, especially like the kind I'm getting, you have to permanently live your life in a different way, or you could end up reverse, like, you can't like reverse surgery, but you could actually like make the body revert, or you could end up like in the hospital or dead because you did not like live out the guidelines of surgery after surgery life. And there's like a lot of things, like, for instance, like, I can't drink with my meals anymore. I have to drink 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after I eat. Meals need to take 20 minutes to eat. I can only eat small amounts. If I don't chew my food enough, I can get sick. Just a lot of things involved in that. And I went from there, and I could have immediately jumped in and be like, all right, we're in the program, we're doing this. But I actually took a little time off because I was terrified. I'm like, you've never been able to stick with a weight loss program. Like, if you get surgery and you screw up, you are gonna die because you got, you know what I'm saying? I was like really, really terrified. And so I took some time off, and I told my family, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a few months and I'm gonna try to lose weight on my own again and see if I can do this one more time before I choose surgery. I'm like, but if I'm not successful, if I see myself stopping, I will be getting surgery done, because I do not want to live another second of the way I'm living now. And I tried did okay. I didn't stick with it. I was lazy about it. You know, I made little changes. Like I worked on like, you know, eating longer, you know, trying to control portions, but nothing like, it still wasn't like the gun was to my head. Like, I'm like, I don't have to, because I didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? And so, in this time also, I had found out I had sleep apnea, which I've done a video on that before if you want more information about that specific journey. And basically after I got diagnosed with sleep apnea, they said it takes 3 months to get the machine, you know, to have your body like reacclimated to sleep. And then at that point I decided as soon as my 3 months are up, I was going to actually pursue weight loss surgery. So at that point, that brings us to March 30th, 2016. Yes, we are now in 2016 with this journey. And so I started the actual program, and basically they tell you, you know, for insurance purposes, like you have different requirements that have to be met. And for my insurance, they said I had to do 6 visits with a nutritionist and 6 follow-up visits with my doctor, as well as like final consults and all that, to actually see if I can lose weight and stick with the program. And the reason they do that is because like you have to be completely re-educated as a person when it comes to like how your body like deals with food, how you view food. Like you have to I had to basically break up with food. Like me and food, like I have to use food as fuel now. I can't use it as comfort. I can't use it as whatever. I have to use food for what its purpose is, to fuel my body, and that is it. And so, and not that you can't enjoy food, but you get what I'm saying. And they told me at that point I had to be on a diet of 1,500 calories or less per day. I had to get to the gym at least like 3 days a week, and they would actually like track and monitor these things. And like they, you know, I had to bring records, everything I did. I had to track like every single thing that goes into my mouth, you know, food wise, and like keep track of all that kind of stuff. And so I went to my first like program start date, and that was March 30th. And up until this point, I actually had lost like 28.4 pounds. So that was actually really cool that I had actually finally like been losing some weight, and I really didn't even know that. So just sleeping alone and all that really kind of started that process for me. And they looked at me and they said, okay, so you got to do these requirements. And then also the other thing is you can't gain any weight in the program. So like you're not required to lose weight, but you cannot gain any weight. And so, and they're like, and this starts tomorrow. Like starting tomorrow, you start living this way. Otherwise you're not going to pass this program and you're not going to be approved to get the surgery. And so it was kind of crazy. I had to go from that point and like decide like, okay, this is it, we're doing this. And so I started the diet and, you know, working, exercise. And at that point I could only go swimming because like I was so heavy at the point that like I just was like exhausted, and it was like really, really difficult. Like the first few weeks of this journey were rough because my body was at such a deficit for what it was used to for calories that it was like impossible. Like just even like after going to the gym or eating, like some days just eating 1,500 calories alone, like I just was physically like felt ill. So I remember the one moment of this journey that was really crazy for me. Like I started out right away. Like I was like, all right, I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna diet. I'm gonna exercise, doing what I'm supposed to do. And they're like, you can't gain any weight in the program. So I went to the first follow-up appointment that I had with my doctor's office, because every time I went to a nutritionist, I had to meet with my doctor after so they could be like, okay, she is doing what she's supposed to do. And there's just like a ton of paperwork that's involved in this whole process. So I go to that visit and I step on the scale, and it actually showed that I had gained 2 ounces. And I legitimately had been living, you know, very strictly to the program, and I started sobbing. Like I was there with my kids. I was like beside myself, ugly crying. I just like come from the gym nonetheless too. And I remember there was like a physician's assistant or like one of those like learning students, and he comes in the room and he's thinking it's gonna be like a breeze, and I'm literally like like bad, and he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm gonna get kicked out of the program. I gained 2 ounces and I'm not gonna pass. And I'm like, and I'm so hungry and I'm working out, and I'm like, I'm a flipping mess, and this guy's like scared to death, and I'm like, you know what, I have to go pee. I was like, can I go pee? I'm like, and then can you weigh me again? Well, so this is what's really kind of like totally God in this moment. He looks down and he goes, no, you lost weight. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I did not lose weight. the nurse had written down the wrong weight. And so he's like, well, we can reweigh you. And I'm like, okay. So I emptied my bladder. I took out I was wearing a bandana. I took everything except for my clothes off. And I stepped on the scale and I was down 6.6 ounces. I was down 0.6 pounds. And then at that point, I started crying even harder because I hadn't gained any weight. And so this guy thought I was insane. I'm literally oh, I'm gonna stay in the program. Oh my gosh. Okay, it was crazy. It was the most emotional physician visit ever. Truly crazy. And so that was my start of my journey. And so it was really hard because I'd worked so hard and I only gained I only lost 0.6 pounds, and it was things did not look like they were going well. And I'm seriously, this is gonna be insane. This is gonna be so difficult. So basically after some time, after I really had a month or so in, I started losing weight faster. I started on average losing about 12 to 15 pounds a month. So during this entire journey, I've not been given I have not actually had surgery until this moment. I have not been given any specific drugs or anything. I've only been following the surgery guidelines because my goal is that I wanted to start living like I'd already had the surgery before having the surgery. And so I did that. And so because of that, I was able to lose this great amount of weight before any kind of medical instrument has touched my body. So I wrote down things so I might be looking down here. I apologize, but I want to make sure I give you guys accurate numbers. So when I was on March 30th, I had already lost 28.4 pounds just from not doing a lot of diet and exercise, just a little bit of changes, and from getting better sleep. And then in the program, so in this entire program up until today, which I'm filming this 2 days ahead of time, obviously, because I can't film and have surgery at the same time. I'm not that amazing. So basically I lost 93.2 pounds in the actual program alone before surgery. Overall, I've lost a total of 121 pounds. So those numbers together, let's do some math, everybody. I lost 121 pounds overall since July 31st, which was my highest weight, 2015, up until today, which technically today for me is Sunday, October 2nd, 2016. Trying to get dates in there just in case when people are watching this, they know the actual numbers in the journey, which I guess in 2 days my weight could change more. And so the last 2 weeks I have been on a restricted full liquids diet because they make you do that right before surgery because their goal is to have your stomach actually shrink as much as possible before surgery so surgery is easier. So in the last 12 days I've actually lost 12 pounds. So hey, the pre-liquids weight loss was 81 pounds, with liquids 93.2 pounds. So overall, I've lost 121 pounds. Are you guys with me? I feel like that was really crazy, but I really wanted to make sure I got out the specific numbers of weight loss during this journey so you guys would know what's going on. So now you're probably sitting here there's probably a few questions, okay? So first off, I'm sure one question is well, you lost all this weight. Why are you still getting surgery? Great question, whoever you are, genius out there. The reason I'm still getting surgery is because getting surgery is the only reason I've stuck to the program. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't stick with diets. I don't stick with exercise. I've never, ever in my life stuck with a program this long. I've always struggled with my weight. Ever since I was probably at least starting back to 4th or 5th grade, I've always been a heavier child or person, and it only got progressively worse. And there was a lot of times during this journey that I actually did want to quit, but the only reason I stuck with it was because I had to meet with a nutritionist. I was going to have someone who was actually going to look and say, you ate that? Oh, and that? Oh, and you ate that? And because the fact that I actually had surgery on the horizon. Secondly is because, as I had said to you, I have done weight loss before. I've lost weight before, but as last time, I lost 40 pounds and then gained 80 pounds. I can't stop this journey and gain back 140 pounds, 240 pounds, because I lost 121 pounds. So if on average I gain back twice what I lost, I'm gonna gain 240 pounds that have to be cut out of a house one day? No, I'm not doing that. And I want a permanent life change. I am a person that like, I have never had discipline in this area of my life, and I have to do something that says, if you make a bad decision today with food, you could end up in the hospital or you could die. I need it that serious so that I not only lose this weight, but that I never ever put it back on again. That is why I'm getting surgery, because I don't have discipline in this area of my life. I don't. I will be woman enough right now to say that I don't have discipline when it comes to what I eat. I don't have discipline when it comes to going to the gym. I cannot control the food I put in my mouth. I'm saying it. I'm not saying that to beat on myself. I'm not saying that to hate on you if that's your problem. I'm saying it because that's the truth. And I will tell you, the one thing I've learned in this journey is you got to be honest with one person in the journey, and that's yourself. I have to be honest about who I am. And that's just the thing. Like, I've never really been honest about who I am when it comes to food, who I am when it comes to control in this area. I've never had it. And so I still also, the other reality is, like, why am I having surgery? Because I still have a lot of weight to lose. For me to even get to like my healthy weight, okay? I have to lose like over 140 pounds still. Like, that's the thing. Like, the weight I'm at now is the weight a lot of people start the surgery program at. I had to lose 120 pounds just to get to a lot of people's highest weight. That's what we're talking about here. And I don't dislike myself. I love myself. I think I'm, maybe not today, I think I'm attractive now. I think I'm a beautiful woman now. I think all women of all shapes and sizes are beautiful now. This is a journey because of health issues, because my body got so out of control that I got pregnant with the baby and didn't even know about it and then lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality here. Like, I had sleep apnea that was so bad, I would stop breathing 137 times per hour. Like, my oxygen would cut off 137 times per hour because this got so out of control. And I need to have control over this part of my life. My kids deserve to grow up with a mom. They deserve that. They don't deserve to say, look into a casket one day at their mom who died because she got so fat she couldn't control herself. I'm not doing that to them. And so, yeah, I'm putting the gun to my head, so to speak, and I'm getting surgery. I'm doing something. I'm gonna change my life. And I'm excited and I'm kind of terrified. And I'm not really terrified about the actual surgery. Like, I've really worked so hard and prepared so hard for this that I truly feel like I'm ready and prepared, you know, like for what I can, at least what I can control, that is. But I don't actually know myself as a smaller person. Like, I've always been bigger, and I'm honestly like kind of afraid that I'm gonna be ugly. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but like, I don't think I'm ugly now, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna have like weird cheeks. Like some people get weird cheeks when they lose weight. Some people lose weight and you're like, you should have lost weight. Like, I'm slightly terrified about that possibility. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. But you know, there's just a lot. And I'm not gonna, you know, this video could go on probably for like 12 hours and we're not gonna do that, but I am gonna do a Q&A soon about this. So if you have like questions about, you know, more about my journey, like you can ask that. And also, if you're sitting here and you're like, well, I don't agree with surgery and I think surgery is just a cop-out, well, it's not. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you actually like get surgery and you follow the guidelines, like, it is just a tool. Like, that's the truth. Like, surgery is only a tool in this process. The surgery is so that I don't go back, because a lot of times everybody can lose weight. Like, a 99.9% of the population can lose weight, but how many people can keep it off? And like, I have read studies and things where they talk about people who've had like great weight loss. Like, a lot of times people from The Biggest Loser, they end up gaining back like 90% of the weight that they lost, because like certain times your body is just programmed that way. Like, certain times your body, like, funny enough, if you're overweight, your body a lot of times will just crave food that's not good for you, especially even if you lose the weight. Like, someone who never had to lose weight and someone who had to like lose the weight and they're the same weight, that person more than likely craves foods that like help them make negative decisions. And the other side of that is that like you have to eat a lot less forever. Like in order to like maintain weight loss, if you're somebody who is like heavy and you get down, you know, to your goal weight, the odds are that you would have to eat probably on average like 500 calories less per day than a person who actually like always has been that weight, just because your body metabolism does not work the same way as other people's bodies. And so yeah, I'm getting surgery right now, being cut open, and some of you are probably like, well, why didn't you share this with us, you know, till now? Because it's my decision and it's my body, and there's a lot of times where people can be negative about surgery because they think they know the realities of it. And I will say the other really big thing about this journey is like my mindset. Like I have had to prepare my mind for this. Like I've had to completely change the way I do everything when it comes to food. I'm the weird one at dinner parties now where I'm like, hey, I can't eat that. Or hey, I'm not drinking anything right now. Or hey, I'm just gonna eat really slow like a baby because I have to. And I didn't want people to give opinions about my life in this way. Like this is my body, it's my decision, and I have done the research. Only a very small handful of people even know about the surgery, only because they're people who would interact with me so much that they would notice that I make, like, they'd be like, why are you doing that? That's weird. What's going on there? That's kind of weird. And I also, you know, needed to know that I would have support from these people. So like, I have a lot of doctor visits I had to go to. I've been at the doctor, in and out of the doctor nonstop the last like 6 months. And I needed to know that I had people, who could like help me with my kids, whatever else. And also who would just like support me in my weird eating and food habits, whatever. And the other reason I didn't share about, you know, my surgery until surgery day is because I didn't want anyone who is working on losing weight to think that you cannot lose weight without surgery. Because I think that you absolutely can. I do not think that surgery is for everyone. I do believe that surgery is for me because this program alone, just the program alone, has caused me to lose so much weight that I already have a brighter and healthier future just before surgery alone. But I feel like a lot of times if I would have said up front that I was in this program for surgery, a lot of people would have been like, oh, well, she's getting surgery, I can't lose weight. Yes, you can. I lost 121 pounds before a medical tool or anything touched my body. I lost 93.2 pounds in 6 months. Well, technically 90 in 6 months. Sorry. I lost 90 pounds because it's like been a couple days. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm weird. 90 pounds in 6 months. I did that without any kind of medical intervention whatsoever, just from diet and exercise. I did that. But I don't have determination. I will fall off the wagon if I don't do this. And I know you're probably like, well, don't be hard on yourself. I'm not being hard on myself. I'm being real with myself. For the first time in my life, I'm being honest with myself about who I am. And that's somebody who has no discipline when it comes to food. That's somebody who doesn't get to the gym. That's somebody who, if she doesn't get surgery and do something that's gonna force her to make good decisions for us for life, she's gonna die. I don't want to die because of food. Like, oh my gosh, I'd be so pissed. Like, if I died because I couldn't put a fork down, like, I couldn't, no. Horrifying. And so, I don't really even know how to end this video. I did want to mention, you know, when I lost the baby, back in July of 2015, I kept thinking to myself, like, why did I have to go through this? Like, why did I have to, like it sounds bad, but part of me is like, I almost wish I would have like had a miscarriage and not known. Not because I wouldn't, because it's like, if you've never had a miscarriage, and this is actually my second one, it's really painful and it's a really like emotional thing, and it's like, it's awful, and it's an awful thing to live through. And I thought, why did I have to even know? Like, why do I have to know, like, a baby, like, that I will never have an opportunity to love? Like, I found out the same day I'm pregnant and losing a baby. Like, why did that happen? And it was like even more awful because like the nurses were like, they just use like really negative terminology. Like, they're like, you're having what's called a threatened abortion. And it just was like, it just sucked. Like, it was just really bad. And basically, July 31st, 2016, I had this moment where something like hit me. So like a year later, you know, that I had started the surgery program, I realized the reason I had to lose that baby and know about that baby was because that baby saved my life. Like, the baby is my angel. And yes, it's technically really my angel in heaven, but without that moment, I wouldn't be here. That is the thing that had to happen for me to realize that, like, I have to change my life. I have to change my life. I'm losing babies. Things are happening to my body. I'm not healthy. I have to change my life. And I just want you to know, like, you can start tomorrow. Like, you can start with your next meal. Like, whoever you are, if you're watching this video and you're like, you want to be healthy, like, you can do it. You can be healthy. Like, you can have all the things that you think you can't have. Like, I let my weight rob me of my life for like how many years? Over 20 years. I've let it rob me of like my life. I can't, you know, go on roller coasters, I'm comfortable in airplanes, like can't sit in a movie theater seat, all kinds of stuff. Like, I've let be taken from me. I just laid down and let it happen, and I'm done. I'm so done, and I'm so ready, and I'm so excited for this moment. Like, this journey has been long and hard, but it has been beautiful, like, at the same time. And I've gone through like so many things behind the scenes of this journey that you guys don't even know about, that have tested me. And I have had time after time where I wanted to quit, where I just wanted to stop, and I said, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. But I'm gonna. And so I love you guys, and I really hope that you understand like why I decided to wait to share this. I really was not ever, I never meant to be deceptive. Everything I said up until now about my weight loss journey has been 100% true. That is all I have been doing. The only difference is that I was doing it in hopes to be approved to receive weight loss surgery. So I hope that makes sense. So like, everything I said that I do, that's literally the entire process I took up until this point to lose weight. The only thing I didn't share, I guess, is that for the last like 12 days and technically 14 days, I've been on a full liquid diet. So that's the only thing like I didn't really share. But, you know, now this video is like 40 minutes. I don't even know how long it is, but it's long. So yeah, I'm having surgery right now. So I'd probably go and finish that surgery. So if you want to share this video with whoever you think this will inspire and encourage. I really love you guys, and I've been like waiting to like share this with you because I'm so excited. Like, I'm so happy, and I can't wait to share like the next part of this journey with you guys, and like, you know, how surgery has affected my life and all that. And I really will, like, I plan to try and weekly, you know, do a video like updating like how surgery has changed my life. They did say, so like, I know I've lost a lot of weight now. There is a potential that I can actually lose like 90 pounds in the next 90 days, which would be insane. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just really love you guys. And I also wanted to say, like, the other thing that's like made this journey like so amazing is like the love and support that I've gotten from you guys. Like, you didn't even know I was getting surgery. Like, the love and support like of my journey so far has been like, it's everything to me. And I know you guys are gonna love and support me in this next part of it. And I just want you to know, like, you can have your life, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you can, does that make sense to you? Like, whatever it takes to get your life, you get your life. And I have fought my body to get to this point, and I still have a long way to go, but I can't wait. I don't even know what it's gonna look like. I don't know what a year from now is gonna look like. And it's terrifying and exciting. And, so as I said, I need to go finish having surgery right now, but I love you guys so much. And I pray for you guys, and I care about you guys, and I really do. And I love hearing your stories, and I hope that continues after this point. That's part of my fear of telling the story, is that people are like not gonna want to still be a part of the Just Like Drew crew, even though like you're with me for life. Even if you quit, I'm keeping you. So if you want to join the Just Like Drew crew and you're not already, probably not right now, but please click the red subscribe button down below so you don't miss any details of my weight loss journey going forward, especially Q&A videos and all that about surgery. Like, you don't want to miss any of that. you click the red subscribe button and join our forever family, because we're literally the best crew around, because anybody and everybody can be in our crew. And I'm such like a wreck right now. I can't get it back. It's like I did yoga today and I like my emotions are so it's not coming back. So if you want to see more photos of me, you can check me on Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter. It's just like Drew, spelled the same way it is down below. And I'll say it again, I love you guys, because I do, like, so much. And if you like this video and you want to see more from me, you know what to do. Just like Drew. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, have an amazing life, and it's never too late to change your life. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon-ish, because I don't know after surgery how I'm going to be doing, but okay, I love you guys. Bye. Like makeup trend, I'm going to show you how I normally do my blush, and that is stacking it on the cheekbone and bringing it down here. The one place I usually don't put my